guys, how's it going? So today we're planting the first of many, many fall containers. So I'm standing here underneath our balcony by our patio doors, and I've already done kind of a pot shuffle this morning. We had 6 containers in our parking area, kind of by an entrance there, and we moved all 6 of them here, 2 of which are going to be obviously right here on either side of the door. This is called the Twain something. We'll put the name on the screen, from Unique Stone, and I absolutely love it. It's got beautiful detail. And then I've got the Gothic pot risers down below, which just gives the pot a little bit more height. And it also allows you, I pulled the drip out of it because I don't have proper drip run up here, but it allows you to pull drip tubing out really easily to where it doesn't get pinched. I left 1 plant in these containers because it did so beautifully this summer. This is an Alternanthera called Plum Dandy. And I think it will look beautiful as a fall accent plant, and these were in full sun all summer long, and they've just done beautifully. There's this one as well. This was like faced a little bit different, so it's going to take a minute for it to readjust, because you can see a lot more of the undersides of the leaves on this one. It'll readjust and point itself toward the light. So we'll have these 2 containers here. We have the window boxes, which I cleaned out this morning. I had a Rockapulco Orange Impatiens and Coleus in here, the Wicked Hot. And so you can see where those holes are. So I do need to do a little bit of trimming on the boxwoods, trimming on the ivy. I'm not going to plant them up today, but they're going to be primed and ready for some plants once I get them. And that's the thing. I think this whole transformation is going to be done in maybe like 3 different videos, because I'm getting fall plants just as they come in down at the garden center. So we'll just do it as I have them. The other 4 containers, I wanted to show you those. So we're going to pop out here into the full sun. This is the English floral urn, and we've got a purple fountain grass that was growing here this summer. I'm just going to ring it, I think, with something fun and colorful, but I'm not going to do that today. And then on the other side here, well, might be able to see that one's in the shade. We've got this smaller, and I can't remember the name. These are all from Unique Stone. And I had these in the Twain pot, so I moved this from the Twain pot into here, and I was just kind of trying it out. And I do think I'll like having a little evergreen accent. And then I'll probably add in something else here, and some corn stalks and pumpkins and you name it. So anyway, let's get back in the shade. I also had some other pillows on these benches right here. And I do have some fall pillows inside. I'll go get those out, maybe in this project, maybe in another one. But it'll be fun to see the slow transition. The thing is, it's supposed to be 100 degrees tomorrow still. So it feels kind of wrong almost planting fall flowers. But I feel like this area I can get away with doing a little earlier because it gets so much more shade. It gets like, what do you think, Erin? 10 minutes of sun in the morning?
No, like maybe an hour.
You think an hour?
Yeah, probably an hour.
Okay, well, an hour of sun in the morning, which is not a lot. And morning sun, as you know, is not very hot, and it's a lot cooler in the mornings now than it was earlier on. So I feel okay planting some things under here, and then maybe tackling the next step next week once we have a big cool down. It's supposed to be about 20 degrees cooler for the whole of next week, which will be nice, and then I'll kind of feel like the fall shift is legitimately in place, hopefully. So what I think I want to do with these containers is I've got a pile of plants sitting over here, and I don't even actually know how I'm going to use them or configure these containers. So I'll do that, and I'll get them planted, and then we'll tour the containers. The first 2 containers for fall are done. What I ended up using for a centerpiece was a Bloodgood Japanese maple in both of them. So I had a couple of Japanese maples in our garden kind of suffer, and I don't know what they're suffering from, but I anticipate needing to replace them. So I thought, well, you know what, I can grab these Japanese maples. I happen to see them down at the garden center. I'll use them in my containers this fall, and then I can plant them out later. I'll probably at the end of this fall, once it gets really cold and I put winter stuff in here, I'll repot them, and I'm just gonna save their containers, and I'm gonna put them out in our greenhouse just to winter over in there where they have a little bit of a buffer. But that way I don't have to buy Japanese maples again. I just use it as a centerpiece now and then use it in the garden later. The next layer down is a Croton, which is actually a tropical plant, mostly used as a house plant, but I've used them in this area, like underneath this overhang as fall plants, quite a number of times. And I find that they do well for quite a long time into the fall because they're protected from any kind of like major frost. So they should provide some really nice color. They provide a really bold accent in here. And then down below, right here, we've got a couple of different, there's a pansy there. I think that's a tapestry mix pansy. And then there's a viola right here, really pretty pink shade. This is called a Feather Falls Carex, which is an evergreen carex, zone 5, so it is a perennial as well. And it can take sun or shade. So this is perfect for it right here. Now, like going forward, the Bloodgood Japanese maple will probably need to be in a spot where it gets more morning sun than it would get here. But since it's a temporary spot, we're okay to get away with that. Then we've got a buckler fern called Brilliance. So the new growth has this beautiful kind of orange tinge to it. And it matches the Croton perfectly, gives it kind of a fall vibe. Once this is planted out in the garden, because this is also a zone 5, it grows 2 feet by 2 feet. So in here, it probably won't bulk up much because things aren't really putting on a lot of growth this time of year. So it might thicken up a little bit. And then we've got the Alternanthera here, which can take some fairly cold temperatures, and it's a really nice weight in this container. And then I put another one of the tapestry mixed yellow pansies right here. The thing about it, I went and grabbed this pumpkin pot. I don't intend on keeping it there, but I wanted to kind of show you what I'm envisioning for the future in this spot as this area evolves. Because there's so much weight on this side of the container and there isn't as much on this side, I needed to bring more weight to this area. And I plan on, once I harvest my pumpkins out in the garden, I want to put a stack right there. I think that'll look really cute and it'll make this area look balanced instead of too heavy on one side, if that makes sense. And so you can see on this side, I need to still clean the ground over here. But I did the very same thing. In fact, I need to clean the pots too. This pumpkin has a broken tooth. I've got to fix that at some point. I think I'm going to use these out, like I'm going to bump them out a little ways because you can't really see under this overhang when I have candles or twinkly lights. Because we keep our carriage lights on at night, it kind of drowns out the twinkles. So I did bring out, I got some lights from Gardener's Supply. Was this probably 2 seasons ago, I think? They're awesome. They're on these little copper wires, have the tiny little lights. I'm toying with the idea of stringing them up in the tree. I'll try it once it gets dark out tonight. If it works and you don't really, like they don't get lost because of the carriage lights, I will take a picture and put it at the end of the video. If that picture doesn't surface at the end of the video, then you know it doesn't look good and I ended up not doing it. So what I'll probably do though for sure is kind of like bunching up one of these and tucking it down in the pot like that, and then lighting this out further that way. I also grabbed my pillows. I picked these up at Joann's this season. This is a really cute one. I like the gray with the gold pheasant there, and then just this like plaid right here. So there's still a lot of work to be done in this area. I think the next shift will be the window boxes and then the grouping of containers around the front beams. And then we'll do another shift once I'm harvesting pumpkins and doing corn stalks and all that sort of thing. I do think I'm gonna move, just as a side note, I do think I'm gonna move these out right here. And I think I might do some straw bales or something like that and really do it up out here. So it's just gonna have to happen as the weather cools down and as I have access to more supplies. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this first segment of fall container arranging. And I hope you guys are having a great day and we will see you in the next video. Bye.